Well, hi YouTubers. Hi, I'm back with the Physics 100 books, and it's Heavy Words Lightly Thrown by Chris Roberts. I heard about this because there was this fan feed that went on Twitter last week about how in the original Snow White she's dead. Okay, in the Disney film when she goes up into the clouds, she's dead. Okay, fine. And someone said this book, Heavy Words Lightly Thrown by Chris Roberts, is really, really good. So I thought I should check it out. So if I sound a bit caffeinated, yes I am. Am I tired? Yes I am. I just finished work. This book is based on nursery rhymes from our childhood, and it will blow your mind. Oh my god. Trust me, I will never look at them in the same way ever again. It's kind of a reminder of, speaking of Snow White. When, about a couple of years ago, my niece, Mackenzie, who's now 8, I was reading her Snow White. I was reading her the original version. The one where she throws the apple back up. The one where the evil stepmother is made to dance to her death with iron shoes. And she started to debate with me that it wasn't like that. And I was like, actually it was. But anyway, the origins of the stories that we take for granted that become like children's stories is quite interesting, because up until probably about the 18th century or 19th century, children were pretty much treated like adults. And then this whole kind of diversion between childhood and adulthood really came into focus. And these songs, which were quite satirical and political, became nursery rhymes. Okay. Like, this book will seriously blow your mind, because they're about, not about sex or politics. It's so interesting. Like, let me read Goosey Goosey Gander. Okay. Goosey Goosey Gander, where do you wander? Upstairs, downstairs, and in my lady's chamber. There I met an old man who wouldn't say his prayers. I took him by the left leg and threw him down the stairs. Okay. Goosebumps, often referred to the swelling caused by venereal disease, a phase was bitten by a goose, which was quite prevalent, especially amongst the dissolute wealthy. When Henry VIII had the brothels closed in Southwark, an order reinforced by his daughter Elizabeth I, it caused the geese to be dispensed to the theatres and the streets. Yeah, that's it. Goosey Goosey Gander is about the close of monasteries and prostitution. The only part of the rhyme is alluding to a spell of venereal disease. It was everywhere, even in a lady's chamber. The use of a lady could be ironic here, but who knows. As the church owned the land on which the brothel stood in the 16th century, part of the reason for the closure was that the brothels represented, in some respects, the old Catholic way of doing things. When the King, Henry VIII, took the church lands, he also took the bishops from power, particularly the Bishop of Winchester, who controlled much of Southwark. So, there I met an old man who wouldn't say his prayers. The old man is a Catholic religion. The saying your prayers refers to the New English Prayer Book. Okay? Catholics refused to use it, and they would therefore be punished. Finding left leg or left foot up is an English term for Catholics. It was quite richly suppressed during Edward VI, Henry's son's reign, and later Elizabeth I. So there you have the rhyme complete. I know. Goosey Goosey Gander is about the dissolution of the monasteries, about prostitutes having to leave the church lands, and venereal disease. Yeah, I know. Another good one. Sorry if I'm ruining this. Once again, a lot of these go back to Elizabethan times, or times of King Henry VIII. Sing a Song of Sixpence, okay, is about Henry VIII, again, and his 6 wives of over 2 of them. The maid hanging over the washing in the garden is Anne Boleyn, blissfully unaware of her future loss of head and status, and the Queen is Catherine of Aragon, mother of Mary Tudor. And the actual black pie, okay, 420 blackbirds baked in a pie, is that the Henry VIII had the deeds of 24 monasteries concealed in a pie that was sent to him. 420 blackbirds is the deeds to the monasteries. Mind blown. Absolute mind blown. Mary Mary Quite Contrary is about the Protestant condemnation of Mary Queen of Scots. Okay, alright. And the odd couple, Jack Sprat. Jack will eat no fat and Judith love no lean. Yet betwixt them, they both lick the dishes clean. There's other versions, but that's the one in the book. It's about Charles I of England and his wife Henrietta Marie, were refused finance by Parliament for a proposed war with Spain. The service covers empty because he could eat no fat because there wasn't any. His wife's extravagant taste meant that she couldn't abide lean or poor times. I know. And this is my favourite, okay? This is my favourite because this is one pretty first nursery rhyme I ever learned. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown and Jill came tumbling after. Up Jack got and off he did trot, as fast as he could caper. Went to bed to mend his head with vinegar and brown paper. And Jill came in as she did grin to see Jack's paper plaster. Mother whipped her across the knee for laughing at Jack's disaster. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Yeah, the basic explanation of this rhyme is that up the hill to fetch a pail of water is actually a euphemism for having sex, and losing your crown means losing your virginity. In much the same way that people might go to see a man about a dog or get up to a bit of a houndsy father, they will be vague about what they're doing. So you have a rhyme about Jack and Jill slipping off and losing their virginity, Jill possibly becoming pregnant and regrets that come later. This may explain why Jill is the most severely punished in the additional verse. Yeah, about sex and politics. These is a small collection of nursery rhymes, which we told the children, which we tell our children, about sex, politics, intrigue, prostitution. Oh my good God. This book isn't long, and the author even says that it's not like a in-depth look. It's more like a passing glance, if you will. Okay? Ian Franks, he says, this book was never meant to be a particularly scholarly exercise, so apologies if you're expecting a lengthy bibliography. As some of you no doubt aware, there are many alternative theories for several of the rhymes featured here, but this book has gone for the most interesting and plausible in its search for the reason behind the rhyme. Yeah, and it's good. This book is really, really good. I read it in a night, and I absolutely loved it. I really, really recommend this book. It's a quick read, just kind of understand the history of the nursery rhymes, and I loved it. Okay, so whoever who recommended it to me on Twitter, thank you. And please just check this book out. It's so good. Anyway, Physics 5 100 books are signing off, and bye now.